All right, you read the title of the video. We're going to be talking about
That's right.
if Luffy has killed in the series of One Piece. And in order to go into this, I got my boy Sai with me. He knows a bunch about this stuff. He knows about Luffy, if he is a murderer or not. Spoiler, he is. And I'll get into why. I'll get into why Luffy is a murderer and why he has murdered. But first, we got to talk about what the creator of the series, Oda, has talked about on this very subject. Because I think in an SBS, he was asked about this. A fan asked why Luffy didn't kill his enemies. And Oda said, the reason Luffy doesn't kill is because in his era, men live by their beliefs and risk their lives to defend them. Luffy shatters the beliefs of his enemies by defeating them. For them to suffer defeat and to have their beliefs destroyed is as bad as death. Killing their bodies is besides the point. I feel that as a pirate, Luffy and his enemies care more about victory and defeat than they care about their lives. And that's a very Oda-like answer. Very politician-like. And yeah, it is a good answer, but it's a very roundabout way of saying that I don't want my MC to be a murderer, right?
Even beyond that, too, there's like a stigma in Japan when it comes to like murder, especially in like shonen and like, you know, young boys anime, which is what One Piece is supposed to be. So yeah, you know, having Luffy going around as a serial killer wouldn't exactly promote a good image. So yeah, like, you know, typical shonen magic, you just have the main character go around beating people, and the bad guys just so happen to live. That's just how it is.
And that's seemingly how it has been so far. Like, if you don't really look too far into it, you would just assume, oh, Luffy's just beat up dudes, maybe brought them close to death, but not quite pushed over the edge. Well, we're going to be talking about in this video why he has actually killed some people. So
he's got blood on his hands.
I mean, he literally does. So first of all, this isn't like speculation or us going into whether or not the interpretation of it or not. This is like one of the prime straight up examples of Luffy killing someone. Now, caveat, it is coming from the 6th movie. So it's not in the manga.
Non-canon.
Not in the anime, and you could say it's non-canon, but it is Luffy doing it. Monkey D. Luffy is doing this act. So, in the 6th movie, we come across this antagonist by the name of Baron Amatsuri. And long story short, he has like this symbiotic relationship with this plant thing, like this lily carnation that like requires strong people to feed on. And he basically lures people to this island so that he can have worthy sacrifices to this lily carnation that is having like this symbiotic relationship with him. And he eventually, of course, gets the Straw Hats, and he does some terrible stuff to them, gets them to like turn on each other and whatnot. And at the very end of the movie, the lily carnation is killed by like an arrow or something, and Luffy finally gets to have his revenge on this guy for what he did to the Straw Hats and everything. Like, this guy's a real big piece of crap. And Luffy winds up punching him with force that we have only seen before when he punches Charlos. You know, the big epic whiteout punch. He literally does pretty much the same exact thing to Baron Amatsuri here. However, he literally kills him. He freaking dies. And not only does he die, he dies like he has like a Sukuna death. I'm not going to spoil it, but when you get killed by Sukuna, you straight up see your friends in this vision of death. And that's what he has. He kills him.
He was at the airport.
Yeah, he kills him so hard, he sends him to the airport and his friends are there. So that right there.
It's crazy.
It shows us that Luffy has killed. I don't care if it's not canon. The character Monkey D. Luffy has killed. Have you seen the 6th movie?
I like how different this movie is, and if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend it because it's also in a different art style as well.
Yeah, I do like the art. It's kind of visceral. It goes with the tone.
Yeah, it really does, and it starts off like really happy-go-lucky, and then it gets darker and darker as the movie progresses. I highly recommend it. But I will say this though, you know, to argue against the whole like this is canon or like we should count this as Luffy killing someone. All of the movies are written by people who aren't Oda, but at the same time, I wonder what Oda thought about when he saw Luffy just straight up murder this man. But I don't know, like, so if you go with the plot, you know, I'm gonna spoil the movie. It's, you know, it's been almost 20 years since it released. You could argue that Baron Omatsuri died due to age when the Lily Carnation dies. So maybe there is a scenario where, Luffy hit him so hard, he sent him back to the Stone Age and Darren just perished. So it technically wasn't Luffy, but at the end of the day, Luffy is a deciding factor in this man's fate.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's going to kind of be the recurring theme in this video. It's like, maybe Luffy didn't directly kill these individuals, but he is the reason they are dead. And in a court of law, you're pretty much getting convicted of murder. That's all I'm saying. Just keep that in mind when we're going further.
Because the death penalty right there, Luffy. I'm sorry.
Because now we're going to go into the fodder realm of things.
Oh, no.
So there's like in case you're not know, fodder is just like nameless characters that are kind of just there to get beat up. Like henchmen, whatever. So in Impelled Down, when Luffy is escaping, they get back to the level of hell with the boiling hell. I think that's what it's called. I forget the number level, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And when they're running through that, there's a bunch of like Impelled Down guards in their way. You got the whole crew. You got Ivankov, Crocodile, Bon Clay, Luffy. And they're mowing through these guys. And they're sending them off over this bridge into pretty much boiling. It's not lava, but it's like water, right?
Yeah, the boiling hell.
It's boiling hell, and it's like Luffy is doing this. The anime makes it a little ambiguous because he's a part of the group that's doing it, but he is nonetheless knocking these dudes over this bridge into the boiling whatever, the boiling liquid. There's no way these guys are surviving that. So I'm pretty sure this is like another Luffy murdering people.
Well, we don't know what's at the bottom of that boiling pit. What if there's like a log that they just so happen to fall on and they survive? Or what if somebody dropped ice cubes in there? Like, hey, we don't know for sure.
That is true.
But just
and we don't see the end result. No. We don't see the end result.
Yeah, we don't see their bones smoldering down there. But I would say, logically, if me or you were the fodder guys and we got knocked down by Luffy into that boiling water, we'd probably be dead.
As I was falling, I would have been like, "You killed me, Luffy! You killed me!"
Rub it in. You have blood on your hands. Just screaming bloody murder.
Yeah. You did this! Joy Boy killed me!
He freed nobody.
Yeah. More fodder that Luffy probably murdered. Eni's lobby. When he's trying to, get through Eni's lobby in that awesome sequence, he like throws boulders at the heads of Marines. And they're like making full contact, like crushing their skulls. This is less of a concrete murder than the dropping the other guys into lava, but it is pretty hilarious to look at this sequence.
Sending them to the hospital.
Both in manga and in the anime. So I it's on the table.
He's
for
like
that.
Batman, like how Batman will like break people's backs, dangle them off the rooftop, kick them off cliffs, hit them with like a really sharp batarang, and then you're just like, oh yeah, Batman doesn't kill people, you just gotta laugh it off. That's pretty much what it is here with Luffy, just he's over here beating up all these fodder people. In Oda's goggles, they don't die, they're just injured.
Yeah,
they're just injured.
Yeah. That's what we'll say for them. But if we're going to Dressrosa, Luffy encounters one of these toy soldiers, who is a human, just altered by Sugar's devil fruit. One of like these nutcracker looking dudes. And he pistols one of them through the abdomen, like where their heart would be or whatever, straight through it, clean hole, dude is dead. Now, how do you defend this one?
See, I would say that you don't know how Sugar's power works. What if all she needs is like one piece of the toy to bring him back, right? Maybe there's something here. Surely the person who got turned into the toy soldier wasn't a giant like the giant nutcrackers were. So maybe there's just like a Attack on Titan human-sized person inside of the nape of the nutcrackers that Luffy didn't touch. I'm like Luffy's lawyer right now. I'm trying to argue for him.
No, we're playing nice devil's advocate here. He used observation hockey, and he could sense where it was.
Yes. So, Luffy, no qualms here. Yeah. His observation hockey's too good. He just avoided hitting the person entirely.
Yeah, okay.
That's what happened.
Yeah, they survived that. Even though it looks like murder, Yeah, they survived that. Okay. Zoning from the future here, I just wanted to give an update on this sequence because upon further reviewing it, especially in the anime, Luffy doesn't literally kill the Nutcracker in this sequence, but he definitely intended to. He's actually even shocked that he doesn't kill it. He's like, what? I knocked a hole through it. So I'm going to chalk this up to minimum premeditated for sure. What about...
Yeah, and then when Sugar's powers turned off, the guy is now human. He's out there with his family, and he will testify.
What about the beast pirate who Luffy encounters and just straight up hits him with a Kong gun and crushes his spine? Like, he comes down on the top of his head, and his body just accordions.
See, here's the thing. He's probably subjected to life in a wheelchair from here on out. But he's still alive, is he not?
I mean, I don't know.
I'd say he's still alive. He just has a broken back.
Yeah, we didn't see
the guy can still live.
Confirmed death panel, so that is a possibility.
Yeah, there was no confirmed death panel. We didn't see like a funeral or procession for him. Which, you know, funny enough, you brought up Wano. This kind of brings us to the main the main one that people like to talk about.
Yeah,
Kaido,
yeah. This
right?
is where this is the last one we're going to talk about because it's hard to defend this. When Luffy defeats Kaido at the end of the arc, he hits him with the Badrang gun, sends him directly into the ground through the volcano that is on Wano into lava. And we see his body with Big Mom. That's a side thing. She's not involved in this, but see his body get enveloped by the lava. And that's the last time we ever see him. And the volcano erupts.
But Luffy didn't do it.
Who did? Oh, Sun God Nika did it.
It was Sun God Nika. He was taking
Your
over.
Honor.
It was Joy Boy. He was not. Yeah, Your Honor. It wasn't him. He wasn't fully conscious. Luffy did nothing. So, but here's the thing, though. Like, the volcano's the one that had the lava.
It did.
But also, I don't think Kaido's dead. You know, like, coming back to reality, I don't think Kaido's dead. I think he's still out there. Him and Big Mom. You know, going back to the whole, like, Luffy shattering dreams sentiment, I feel like that's going to be true for Big Mom and Kaido as well. Like, if you just go back to all of Luffy's former villains, like Crocodile, right? He wanted to take over Alabasta. What a nasty, evil man. He breaks out Impel Down. He doesn't care. Doflamingo, he wanted to, like, you know, attack the world. He might still want to do that, actually. I don't think Luffy changed that mindset for Doflamingo. Captain Kuro, you know, he wanted to kill Kaya. He didn't do it. He could do it now. I mean, nobody's on that island, but he's not. He gave up the dream. Caesar, he wanted to work for Big Mom and create Smile Devil Fruits. He did it. Luffy beat him, and now he's working with Neo Mads. There's so many people that Luffy has beaten, and after he beats them, they just don't care anymore. Like, Enel is another one, right? He wanted to destroy Skypiea. Luffy beat him. He's like, you know what? We'll leave Skypiea alone. I think it's the same thing for Kaido and Big Mom. Now that Luffy beat them, I don't think Kaido has any interest in Wano. So that's why we haven't seen him yet. I feel like one day, you know, give it 100 chapters. I feel it. I feel like Kaido's going to come back. And it's going to prove that Luffy, indeed, has not killed a single person out there. He's only destroyed their dreams.
Well, I can't argue that. Even though I do hope that Kaido is dead. Because, man, can somebody just die? Especially Kaido, as despicable as he is. And that was somewhat of a fitting ending. You know, as he did kill Odin in boiling oil. Let him die in boiling lava. But, you know, maybe he'll come back, maybe not. But that's it for now with Luffy, his alleged murder sheet, which he may or may not have committed. Thank you, Sai, for
of course, man,
being his defense attorney here.
All I gotta say though is that if I were put in Luffy's shoes, arc after arc, I probably would be killing all these guys, to be honest. Like Doflamingo, you know, like Crocodile. I'd be like, yo, there's no redeeming these dudes. Like, I just put them down.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd be too scared.
We need Senin One Piece. You know, like
yeah, we need Senin One Piece. Just start killing everybody.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that scene after every arc. Luffy beats the bad guy, and then before they leave, Luffy's like, I got one more thing I gotta do. Zoro, pass me the sword. And then he just goes over there and stabs them.
I mean, we know Zoro will kill.
Yeah, Zoro would have, like, no qualms about it, right? Like, Luffy's like, hey, Zoro, can you kill this guy? And Zoro's like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll just chop his head off.
But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Subscribe to Sai, or don't. His info will be in the description. And if you like the video, give it a like. And I'll see you guys in the next one.